Hello and very welcome everyone to this session of the current affairs. Today we are going to learn the current affairs of 8th of May 2024. So let's start and see that what are the things we can learn from this session. What are the things we can note down in our notebooks. So before we start, these are the topics we are going to cover today. So first of all, I got some international, national and banking news for you. After that, some defense, science and technology, sports news. After that, I will cover the important days, appointments, summits and conference, obituary, awards and recognition. And at last, I'll summarize all the things for all of you. Before we start, the images used in our slide deck are for educational purpose only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in this deck and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathi@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. Okay, so first news that we have today with us is that India and Ghana agree to operationalize UPI on GHI PSS in 6 months. So India and Ghana have agreed to operationalize the UPI on Ghana interbank payment and settlement system within 6 months. So basically, now Ghana is also under partnership for the particular process of the UPI payment ecosystem, along with some other countries like Maldives, Peru, and now Ghana will also be into that category, and also Namibia. The linkage will allow instant and low-cost fund transfer for user in both countries. The agreement was discussed during the fourth session of Indo-India-Ghana Joint Trade Committee, held from 2nd to 3rd of May 2024 in Accra, Ghana. India and Ghana also discussed the possibilities of a memorandum on digital transformation solutions and a local currency settlement system. So for this purpose, India and Ghana agreed to operationalize UPI on GHI PSS on 6 months. Nepal's population trends and demographic indicators. So recently, Nepal's population growth rate has reached a historic low of 0.92% per annum over the last decade. This is the slowest growth rate in the last 80 years as reported by the National Statistics Office. The current population stands at approximately 29.2 million. There has been a growth of 2.7 million from mid-April 2011 to mid-April 2021. And recently, if we talk about Nepal, then Kathmandu was declared as the most polluted city in the world under the IQ Air Index. And apart from that, if we talk about Nepal more, then recently India has also collaborated with Nepal to particularly create a new type of hydroelectric projects in Nepal. So Nepal, basically you will find Nepal in the northern side of India, and the capital is Kathmandu, and basically the highest mountain peak in the world, that is Mount Everest, also lies in Nepal. Bajaj Auto set to revolutionize transportation with world's first CNG motorcycle. So recently Bajaj Auto set to launch world's first CNG powered motorcycle on June 18. So this is the first time that they are launching the first CNG powered motorcycle in India, and that is set by Bajaj Auto. This innovation aims to provide a cost-effective alternative for daily commuting. CNG motorcycle promises lower running costs compared to traditional petrol powered bikes. The launch comes amidst rising petrol prices, offering consumers a more economical option. So remember that Bajaj Auto is set to revolutionize the transportation with the world's first CNG motorcycle. Nepal set to introduce new rupees 100 note featuring disputed territories. So Nepal government is set to introduce a new 100 rupees currency note featuring a map that includes the controversial border territories of Lipulekh, Limpiyadhura, Kalapani. The Nepal cabinet approved a redesign of rupees 100 banknote during the meeting held on 25th of April and 2nd of May. Nepal updated its political map to incorporate these areas by amending its constitution, which India termed as unilateral act and untenable. Nepal bases its claim on the Segoli Treaty of 1816, while India argues that in the 1950 Treaty of Peace and Friendship annulled the Sugoli treaty. So a treaty was signed, remember, in which year? In 1816, under which particular territories were defined between these two countries at the time of Britishers. But in 1950, according to India, a treaty of peace and friendship was annulled, and under that, this treaty was annulled once again, and some of the territories were transferred to India. Now Nepal is basically creating a chaos by telling that these territories still belongs to him, and by that purpose, we have to see that what will be the future of this thing. So basically, the things will be settled with peace only, and that is why India is also collaborating with Nepal in different things also. So let's see that what will happen in future. But still, please remember that which territories are in dispute between India and Nepal, that are Lipulekh, Limpiadura, and Kalapani. ADB and Citi signed MRPA to support SME and boost trade through supply chain financing. So, Asian Development Bank and Citigroup have signed a master risk participation agreement to enhance access to supply chain financing for small and medium sized enterprises. This partnership aims to support over $100 million in addition annual trade across the Asia Pacific region. So recently, Asian Development Bank and Citi, they have signed the MRPA to support SME and boost trade through supply chain financing. The MRPA will enable SMEs to access Citi supply chain finance offering via ADB's trade and supply chain finance program. Since 2009, the collaboration between ADB and Citi has facilitated $6.2 billion in trade, enhancing SME access to finance and bolstering regional resilience. So remember that ADB and Citi, they have signed the MRPA, that is the Master Risk Participation Agreement, to enhance the supply chain financing for small and medium-sized enterprises. Recently, if we talk about ADB has also provided funds for the development of solar projects in Assam. And Asian Development Bank is a bank that is dedicated for the development of developing countries, especially in the Asian region. It is based in Manila, Philippines. Mirae AMF launched Nifty Mid Small Cap 400 Momentum Quality 100 ETF. So Mirae Asset Mutual Fund launches the Mirae Asset Nifty Mid Small Cap 400 Momentum Quality 100 Exchange Traded Fund. This is India's first mutual fund scheme with 50 mid cap and 50 small cap stocks. New fund offer will be available for subscription from 6th May till 17th May and will reopen for continuous sale and repurchases. The scheme aims to generate return commensurate with the performance of the Nifty Mid Small Cap 400 Momentum Quality 100 TRI, subject to tracking error. So remember, Mirae AMF launched the Nifty Mid Small Cap recently. Motilal Oswal asset management company, they also have created a new type of index that is dedicated for the defense index, for the investment of the people by the people in the defense sector. Infibeam's CC Avenue partners with Shivalik SFB to boost merchant access. So recently, CC Avenue, a flagship payment brand of Infibeam Avenues Limited, has partnered with Shivalik Small Finance Bank to empower merchants by granting them access to Shivalik's SFB's extensive customer base. This partnership integrates Shivalik SFB's internet banking service with CC Avenue payment platform. Account holders of Shivalik SFB will facilitate seamless payment capabilities on CC Avenue powered websites, enhancing their online shopping experience. So remember one thing, that Infibeam CC Avenue now partnership with Shivalik Small Finance Bank to boost merchant access. CC Avenue was the first payment gateway player in India to process central bank digital currency or digital rupee transaction for online retail merchants. So remember that Infibeam CC Avenue partners with the Shivalik SFB. Indra raises India's GDP growth forecast for financial year 25 to 7.1% from 6.5%. So India Rating and Research has raised India's GDP growth forecast from 7 to 7.1% from 6.5% in the current financial year. So according to the RBI, it would be 7 to 7.2. According to Moody and Goldman Sachs, it would be 6.8 to 7%. Now Indra raises India's GDP growth forecast from 6.5% to 1%. Factors contributed to the increase include sustainable government capital expenditure, deal leveraged corporate and banking sector balance sheets, and emerging private corporate capital expenditure cycle. Indra expects private finance consumption expenditure to grow by 7% year on year in financial year 25, marking a 3-year high. TSSEZL and Hyzenco signed MOU to set up green ammonia and green hydrogen projects in Odisha. So Tata Steel Special Economic Zone Limited and HHP, that is Hygenco 5 Private Limited, Hygenco, have signed MOU to establish a green hydrogen and green ammonia projects at TSSEZL. Hygenco aims to produce 1 million tons per annum of green hydrogen in different phases, with the initial phase scheduled for commissioning by December 2026. The green ammonia produced will be exported through the existing Gopalpur port facility. Hygenco is investing $2.5 billion over 3 years as a part of this project. So remember, the project was signed between Tata Steel Special Economic Zone and HHP 5 Private Limited to establish the green hydrogen and green ammonia projects in Odisha. In Odisha, if we talk about, recently a new type of eel was discovered named after the biologist Surya. Apart from that, recently the traditional medicine center is going to be open in Jamnagar, Gujarat. Apart from that, a subsidy of the REC will going to be open in the gift city, that is called the Gandhinagar, to provide the financial services. And now TSSEZL and Hygenco, they are getting together to create green hydrogen and green ammonia in the Gopalpur Industrial Park in Odisha. ICICI Bank introduced UPI for NRIs using international mobile numbers. So ICICI Bank has become the bank that has launched a new feature for the NRIs to use UPI transactions in India. NRIs can now use their international mobile numbers for UPI transactions. This eliminates the need to register an Indian mobile number with their NRE/NRO account. The feature aims to enhance convenience for NRIs in managing daily payments. So a particular smooth and effective way of payment has been given to the NRIs, and that is when ICICI Bank has introduced this new type of system for the NRIs in India. Infibeam's CC Avenue expands merchant access through Shivalik's SFB partnership. So remember, Infibeam Avenue, CC Avenue, they are in partnership with the Shivalik Small Finance Bank, and under this purpose they are providing the new type of services for the customers so that they can provide the new type of so that they can have a smooth banking services for them, and we discussed in the last slides also. Indian Army and IAF to jointly deploy MQ-9B Predator drones at Gorakhpur and Saraswat air bases in UP. So Indian Air Force and Indian Army plans to jointly deploy MQ-9B Predator drones at air bases in Gorakhpur and Saraswat, Uttar Pradesh. These drones will upgrade surveillance capabilities along the line of actual control with China from Ladakh to Arunachal Pradesh. The drone deal, valued at approximately $4 billion, involves acquiring 31 MQ-9B drones, with 15 designated for the Indian Navy and 8 each for the IAF and the Army. MQ-9B drones have a flight time of over 36 hours, can reach height of over 40,000 feet, and can be armed with Hellfire air-to-ground missiles and smart bombs. So remember that Indian Army, it has deployed the new type of Predator drones that is called MQ-9B, and recently C-295 type of aircraft that are the particularly transportation aircraft are being deployed into the Indian Air Force recently. And apart from this, if we add to this thing, recently Ukraine Army has become the first army in the world to have deployed a unit dedicated for the UAVs regarding the operation of UAVs in their particular areas. So remember that Indian Air Force, they have deployed the MQ-9B Predator. The drone is under surveillance capabilities along the line of actual control, especially in the areas of Ladakh and China. Border Road Organization celebrates 65th Raising Day. So BRO celebrated the 65th Raising Day on 7th of May 2024. The ceremony was held in New Delhi, presided over by Union Defense Secretariat Giridhar Armani. So those of you who don't know, you can see the pictures behind that they are building the tunnels, they are building roads in the snow areas and all this. So basically, I hope you can understand now that what is the purpose of BRO, that they create roads in the most remotely areas of the mountainous regions. So they have celebrated the 65th Raising Day recently. Defense Secretary praised the BRO for its contribution to the infrastructure in the challenging areas. As I said, BRO is recognized for its work in inhospitable regions and adverse weather conditions. So remember the name, Border Road Organization. What is the purpose? The purpose is to create roads in those areas where mostly the situations are not in favor of us. Indian Army and Indian Air Force conducts joint exercise in Punjab. So recently, Indian Army Kharga Corps conducted a joint exercise with the Indian Air Force in Punjab. Exercise titled Gagan Strike 2 aimed to refine process and validate the use of attack helicopters. Various force multipliers, including Apache and ALH-WSI helicopters, UAVs, and special forces were incorporated. The exercise focused on mechanized operations in developed terrain. So remember, Indian Army and Indian Air Force, they have conducted a joint exercise in Punjab, and that is called the Gagan Strike Second. And recently, the multinational exercise is being conducted by the Indian Air Force, and that is known as the Tarang Shakti. Remember that also. ISRO successfully conducted first ignition test on semi-cryogenic PETA at Mahendragiri. So recently on 2nd May, ISRO successfully conducted the first ignition test on the semi-cryogenic pre-burner ignition at the ISRO Propulsion Complex in Mahendragiri, Tamil Nadu. The successful ignition marks a major milestone in ISRO's semi-cryogenic propulsion system development. Semi-cryogenic engine is designed to enhance the payload capabilities of the launch vehicle Mark III rocket and future launch vehicles. So ISRO, that is the Indian Space Research Organization, has now conducted the first ignition test on semi-cryogenic PETA at Mahendragiri. The Liquid Propulsion System Center leads the development of semi-cryogenic propulsion system with support from the ISRO launch vehicle centers. So remember that first of its kind, the semi-cryogenic PETA is being ignited by the ISRO recently at Mahendragiri, and this has been a remarkable achievement for the Mark III vehicle of ISRO to deploy satellites. Mark III, if we talk about, is the particular launch vehicle that particularly deploys the heavy satellites into the space, and for that purpose it is also sometimes known as the Bahubali of India. Scientist unveils world's deepest blue hole in Mexico. So researchers have discovered Tamja blue hole in Mexico, Chetumal Bay. This blue hole is deepest known on Earth, descending to a depth of 1,380 feet. It surpasses the previous record holder, the Shansha Yongle Blue Hole, by 480 feet. The discovery presents opportunities for scientific exploration and potential new marine life. So you can see this kind of a blue hole. It is being found in the Mexico, and it is being found in Mexico, Chetumal Bay. So remember the name. A new blue hole is found in India, in the world, and it is known as the world's deepest blue hole. Please do not get confused with the trench. Trench is a different thing. It is a blue hole. It must be created because of some kind of degradation of any kind of a submarine mountains or something, and because of that it has been created. But if we talk and compare it with the trenches are different thing. Trenches are the minor oceanic reliefs, and they are built when the particular two plates got converged together, and in between them the trenches are found. Like the deepest trench in the world, that is the Mariana Trench. That is 11,022 meters deep. So do not compare it with that. It is a blue hole that is being built because of some kind of different type of landforms building in oceans. Lando Norris marks his first victory in F1 career after winning Miami Grand Prix. So McLaren's Lando Norris won the first Formula One race of the career by defeating world champion Max Verstappen in the Miami Grand Prix. The victory was a awaited win for Norris, who held a record for most podiums without a win and had finished runner-up 8 times in 110 Grand Prix. Red Bull's Max Verstappen finished second in the race, followed by Ferrari Charles Leclerc in third. Norris is the first driver since Carlos Sainz Jr. to beat Verstappen in the 2024 season. So remember the name Lando Norris, and he's associated with which company? That is McLaren's, and he has won the his first victory in F1 career after winning the Miami Grand Prix 2024. So this is the starting of a new name into the F1 race, that is Lando Norris. Max Verstappen, who was associated with Red Bull, he finished second. World Portuguese Language Day. So Portuguese is a language that is associated with a country called Portugal, and you will find Portugal in the Iberian Peninsula on the Atlantic side. And if we talk about the capital of Portugal, that is Lisbon. So World Portuguese Language Day is annually observed on 5th May to raise awareness of the Portuguese language and its role in the human civilization and culture. The Community of Portuguese-speaking countries officially established this day in 2009. In 2019, UNESCO proclaimed 5th May as World Portuguese Language Day, with the first celebration held in 2020. The day highlights the importance of the Portuguese language, one of the most widely used language in the Indo-European family. So remember, World Portuguese Language Day, 5th of May. African World Heritage Day, 5th of May. So African World Heritage Day is observed on 5th May to celebrate African culture and heritage. The theme for AWSD is safeguarding Africa's heritage through education. Observance is led by UNESCO in collaboration with the African World Heritage Funds. UNESCO adopted a resolution in 2015 proclaiming 5th May as the African World Heritage Day, with the first observance in 2016. So remember, African World Heritage Day is observed on 5th of May. International No Diet Day. So International No Diet Day is observed on 6th May to promote body positivity and self-acceptance. Embrace yourself, reject diet culture, love you. The day was established by British feminists Mary Evans Young in 1992. The first No Diet Day was observed on 5th May 1992 in Hyde Park, London, but was later changed to 6th May to avoid the conflicts with Cinco de Mayo celebrations. So International No Diet Day is observed on 6th May. World Cartoonist Day. So World Cartoonist Day is observed on 5th May to celebrate and honor cartoonists worldwide. The day also aims to promote and support the cartoon industries and acknowledge the influence of cartoons on culture and social commentary. If we talk about the animation day, that falls in October, in the late October. The first commercially successful newspaper comic strip, Hogan's Alley, was created by Richard Felton Outcalt and featured the character Mickey Dugan, better known as the Yellow Kid. World Cartoonist Day was established by National Cartoonist Society in 1990 to highlight the significance of cartooning in society. So remember, World Cartoonists Day is observed on 5th of May. World Red Cross and Red Crescent Day. So on 8th of May is observed. So May 8th is observed as the World Red Cross and Red Crescent Day. The day celebrates uniqueness and unity of International Red Cross and Red Crescent movement. This year's theme was Keeping Humanity Alive, highlights the spirit of humanitarianism. The day recognizes individuals who ease the suffering of others and protect human dignity. So remember, the World Red Cross and Red Crescent Day is observed on 8th of May. World Thalassemia Day celebrate on 8th of May. So World Thalassemia Day is observed on 8th of May to raise awareness about this genetic disorder and support those affected. Empowering life. The theme is empowering life, embracing progress, equitable and accessible thalassemia treatment for all. The day promotes research for the cure and dispel myths surrounding the disease. So remember, Thalassemia Day is being observed on 8th of May. UNICEF India appoints Kareena Kapoor Khan as its national ambassador, appoints its first fourth youth advocates. So on 4th May, UNICEF India named Bollywood actress Kareena Kapoor Khan as the national celebrity ambassador. She will advocate for children's rights to early development, health education, and gender equality. UNICEF India also announced Gauranshi Sharma, Nahid Vinisha, and Karthik as the new youth advocates for the rights of children. These appointments aims to further UNICEF's mission of promoting and protecting children's rights in India. So remember, the UNICEF, they have appointed Kareena Kapoor as the national ambassador to create awareness regarding the children educations and particularly the gender equality, the health of the development of children. Visa appoints Sujay Raina as India country manager. So Visa has appointed Sujay Raina as the new country manager for India. Raina will lead and execute Visa's strategic initiatives in the Indian market. He will partner with clients and the broader payment ecosystem. This appointment aims to strengthen Visa's presence and operations in India. So remember the name Sujay Raina. He has been appointed as the manager of Visa. And apart from her, recently Kareena Kapoor, she has been appointed as the brand ambassador of UNICEF in India, national ambassador. Apart from them, Leo Thames, recently he was appointed as the brand ambassador of the UNHRC, that is the High Commission for Refugees. 26th ASEAN India Senior Officials Meeting in New Delhi. So 26th ASEAN India Senior Officials Meeting was held in New Delhi. It was co-chaired by Secretary East Jaideep Majumdar and Permanent Secretary Albert Chua of Singapore. Discussions covered political security, economic and social cultural engagement. Key topics include implementation of the Prime Minister's 12-point proposals, preparation for the upcoming ASEAN India Summit in Vientiane. So 26th ASEAN India Senior Officials Meeting was held in Delhi, and ASEAN India Summit is going to be held in October, that is in Vientiane. Frank A. Stronz, Chairman Emeritus and former CEO of Boeing, passed away. So Frank Anderson Stronz, remember the name, Chairman Emeritus and a Boeing company, passed away at the age of 92. So he was the CEO of Boeing, the very famous airlines company. Stronz served as the CEO of Boeing company from 1986 to 1996 and became chairman of the board in 1988 January. After his retirement, he became the chairman or emeritus of Boeing company in 1997. He was also the co-owner of Seattle Mariner baseball team and was awarded Oxford Cup in 1999 for professional achievement. So remember the name Frank A. Stronz. Renowned Urdu writer Salam bin Razak passed away. So renowned Urdu writer Sheikh Abdul Salam Abdul Razak, known as Salam bin Razak, passed away at the age of 83. He died at his residence in Navi Mumbai after prolonged illness. Salam bin Razak was celebrated literature and academician. His passing was confirmed by a family friend. So remember the name renowned Urdu writer Salam bin Razak. He passed away at the age of 83. 2024 Pulitzer Prize winner. So recently 2024 Pulitzer Prize winner was announced on 7th May 2024 by Columbia University. This particular day is dedicated to the people who are working in the field of social activism, journalism, and other areas. These awards are considered most prestigious in journalism and arts. The winner was selected based on the recommendation of Pulitzer Prize Board. Formal recognition ceremony will be held later, presided over by the president of the Columbia University. Oxford Bookstores honors excellence in book designs and visual arts. So Bhavi Mehta won 9th edition of the Oxford Bookstore Book Cover Prize. And Mehta's winning entry was the book jacket for the book Beautiful. So we discussed in the last session also, remember the name Bhavi Mehta. She won the 9th edition of the Oxford Bookstore Book Cover Prize. The book is published by Hachette India. The award recognizes excellence in book design and visual arts. So she got the award for her book for making the cover of a book that is called the book Beautiful. So let's revise that what we have learned in this session so far. First of all, India and Ghana agreed to operationalize UPI on GHIPSS in 6 months. Nepal population trends and demographic indicators. Bajaj Auto set to revolutionize transportation with world's first CNG motorcycle. Nepal set to introduce new 100 rupee notes featuring the disputed territories like Kalapani in Uttarakhand. ADB and Citi signed MRPA to support SME to boost trade through supply chain financing. Mirai AMF launched Nifty Mid Small Cap 400 Momentum Quality. Infibeam CC Avenue partners with Shivalix SFB to boost merchant access. Indra raises India GDP growth forecast for financial year 25 to 7.1% from 6.5%. TSS EZL and Hygenco signed MOU to set up green ammonia and green hydrogen projects in Odisha. ICICI Bank introduces UPIs for NRIs using international mobile numbers. Infibeam, CC Avenue expand merchant access. We just discussed this one. Indian Army and IAF jointly deploy MQ-9B Predator drones at Gorakhpur and Saraswat air bases in UP, especially to take care of the LAC or the boundary between India and China. Border Road Organization celebrates 65th Raising Day. Indian Army and IAF conduct joint exercise in Punjab. ISRO successfully conducted first ignition test on semi-cryogenic PETA at Mahendragiri. Scientist unveils world's deepest blue hole in Mexico. Lando Norris marks his first victory in F1 career after winning Miami Grand Prix. He is associated with McLaren's. World Portuguese Day, 5th of May. African World Heritage Day, 5th of May. International No Diet Day, 6th of May. World Cartoonist Day, 2024, 5th of May. World Red Cross and Red Crescent Day, observed on 8th of May. Thalassemia Day, observed on 8th of May. UNICEF India appoints Kareena Kapoor Khan as the National Ambassador, appoints first 4 youth advocates. Visa appoints Sujay Raina as India current country manager. 26th ASEAN India senior officials meeting in New Delhi. Frank A. Schronz, chairman emeritus and former CEO of Boeing company, passed away. Renowned Urdu writer Salam bin Razak passed away. 2024 Pulitzer Prize winner announced. Oxford Bookstores honors excellence in book design and visual arts. And that's it in this session. I hope you learned a lot of things and a lot of facts, and you have updated your notebooks with your updated notes. So I will meet you once again in next session in which we will discuss some more current affairs. And till then, bye bye. Take care everyone and see you soon.